October is Cybersecurity Month. It's important in that it encourages individuals and companies, people, the community as a whole, to really think about what they're doing and what they're not doing in regard to cybersecurity, cyber defense, if you will. Unfortunately, I don't think we are doing enough in terms of active defense, where it's mostly concentrating on passive defense, and mostly it still gives us the feeling that government will always be there to help us out, that we are responsible for ourselves and our communities to a certain degree, but there is a kind of a pat on the back and a warm fuzzy that cybersecurity initiatives will always get us through. General Alexander, when he was the director of NSA and the commander of Cybercom, stated that. He said that one of the most catastrophic attack on the United States would be a cyber attack in his understanding on the grid, and that we are not prepared. I don't believe that we're prepared at all. We have, whether it be cyber or EMP or solar, we're not prepared. We have community response teams in regard to cyber. We have community emergency response teams in regard to catastrophic types of localized emergencies, but nothing has prepared us for something that would be a cross-country power outage of a long-term period. I think we've become ensconced in the idea that risk management is the way to go. I think we've become so used to risk management and business logic, if you will, that the outliers or the worst case scenarios are seen by most people as just, it's not ever going to happen. We'll never have that problem. Well, unfortunately, worst case does happen. The Holocaust happened. Katrina happened, but we have multiple instances of worst case happening throughout history. And unfortunately, again, if somebody's going to talk about attacking the United States or the United States and Canada or Canada, they're going to want to take us down instantaneously and long term, because that's the only way they will survive, or the only way they will achieve their objectives. So that really does indicate that what we're talking about is a grid down scenario. In fact, it's been reported loosely in unclassified sources that they believe that Iran has malware in our grid computer systems. We know Russia, for instance, they just located what they call the black energy malware, which they understand is from Russia, or at least Russian proxies. Iran, you may know, just this past year, in April, has been accused of taking down the grid in Turkey and leaving half of the country of Turkey without power for 12 hours. If they wanted to follow up, if they wanted to take them down more permanently, they could have. They did not, because they really wanted to teach them a lesson. I don't think they would do that with us. I think they would want to take us down permanently. Someone like Russia might want to send us a message, or China maybe, but I think if you go to that point, you're going to want to do something a little bit harder, because when we do decide to attack back, it would be a lot more devastating if we were still functional. Actually, General Alexander presented such an attack scenario. He called it his own doomsday scenario. I might actually read it to you if you don't mind. He said a doomsday scenario for the West would be a sophisticated cyber attack on the electric grid, power stations, and refineries. It is anticipated that this could be accompanied by a paralyzing blow to the financial systems, the major banks, IT systems, raising the specter of cities drained of power and money, and left facing the prospect of a physical attack. Now, we've been saying that for quite some time, that usually a cyber attack could be fixed. It might take hours, might take days, but you could probably fix most of the systems and bring the power back up to a certain degree. But if you hit again with a physical attack, like an EMP, then it would be a much more devastating blow. Prevent some. We can prevent maybe even most if you look at how many attacks we thwart on a regular basis. The problem is, and every single cybercom commander has, plus the SecDef and the Secretary of Homeland Security, they've all said we can only do this so long. You cannot continually use passive defense and get by with it forever.